Yo, 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 we are live. We are live. Thank you guys for tapping into Reasonable Wrestling. On this episode, we'll be talking about the new cover artist of WWE 2K24. We'll also be talking about what Seth Rollins got to talk about on Monday Night Raw tonight.
And have you seen the Patrick Clark interview? Or have you seen what?
The trailer to the Patrick Clark interview. The Patrick Clark interview with Chris Van Vliet. We'll be talking about that in 3, 2.
It's simple.
No, I ain't forget my lighter again. There we go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Joint Roller Ayatollah with my tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang.
And, everybody, what's up? We're here with the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, your favorite podcast, your favorite underground professional wrestling podcast. And we're here to talk about the week that was in professional wrestling. But before we do that, please hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, Shopify, all that stuff, iTunes, everywhere we're at, please hit like, follow, whatever the button is that you're supposed to press. That shows that you fuck with our shit. All right. And also follow us on all our medias of socialness. RW Podcast 1 is our Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it. And pretty much search Reasonable Wrestling Podcast anywhere else to find us, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, and all the podcast providers. But yeah, definitely here to talk about, like you just mentioned, Seth Rollins' injury and what could be the fallout from that. We're going to talk about the cover athletes for WWE 2K24. Patrick Clark had a teaser for an interview he's having with Chris Van Vliet. So we're going to tackle all these things. But where do you want to start?
I guess we can just start off. Today's Monday. If you didn't know, if you're not on the clock on a Monday afternoon right now, Monday Night Raw tonight, and Seth Rollins is supposed to be addressing the audience. And why would he be addressing the audience, people? Over the weekend came about that he sprained or has a partially tore MCL and from his last week's match in the Mahal. And we unfortunately, guys, we were here yesterday talking about it, did not record, so we're here back talking about it again. And my piece on just this part, and I won't go long with it, is that I think Seth Rollins doesn't do himself any justice by trying to be the everyman superhero workman and wrestling Jinder Mahal for what? As Tony Khan stated out, that guy don't deserve a championship match. So why is Seth even risking injury before one of the biggest, most talked about possibilities of matches that has been that could have taken place in the last decade between him and CM Punk? I just don't get it.
I hear you. I mentioned yesterday about the prestige of this new championship and what she's trying to build with it, and I respect it. I do think that when it comes to injury, it can happen anytime. It can happen. Like we just saw Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes. I remember he's like, "Oh, why were they wrestling?" No, they're wrestling because that's their job. Like in my mind, that match could have happened. That injury, that could have happened in a tag match. That could have happened anytime. And I get it because you're like, all right, we should preserve our champion, especially during this time of the year, or the road to WrestleMania. And it seems like WrestleMania is like Seth Rollins is cursed with trying to enter WrestleMania as a champion, because the same thing happened last time when he was Universal Champion, and I think he tore his ACL on a buckle bomb attempted for or a what do you call that? It
was a buckle bomb. He was doing a sunset flip.
Yeah, there you go.
On Corporate Kane at the time on a house show, and this was right peak Seth Rollins. We're talking about
So it's like even like that you can be at a house show and get injured. So he's just doing his job. Like their job is to entertain. I think, like I said yesterday, I think Seth Rollins is one of those guys who has a mission when he goes out there, and that is to put on the best show for the people that he's putting on the show for. And he doesn't book the card. Like, maybe he shouldn't have faced gender. Like, that's a story and that's a question that you can take up with, management and the booking. But either way, if Seth is facing anybody on Raw because they're in a certain town and they're trying to get that town to buy tickets, then yeah, it could happen no matter what. And I get it. The whole fighting champion thing does give a bit of like, I'm going to go all out kind of energy every time I get out there and make this title something. And it could push him further than he needs to go sometimes. But I think that's what also makes him Seth freaking Rollins, is that he wouldn't be who he is without that kind of gear he goes to. That's what makes him one of the best wrestlers in the world, period.
I made the comment yesterday, and I'll say it again. So all this is fresh takes for you guys, but for us, we are rehashing.
Yeah,
Mox is in that elk. He's one of those guys. He's one of those workmans, and we say all the time, your durability is what sells tickets, right? So in this case, and I won't bounce back and forth between AEW and WWE, I would just say this. Moxley has the same mentality as Seth does. Roman does not. And SmackDown had to make do with giving other people the ball, like LA Knight, making himself somebody that's viable that can hold down a show. Because, again, Roman don't wrestle. The storyline is stale. That nigga don't pull up to every town, every house show, whatever the case may be, and on a legendary run right now. Seth Rollins, when he cut that promo and said he didn't want to be Roman, when he said he wanted to be a champion on the show, bro, ain't nobody telling you not to make the towns. Ain't nobody telling you not to show up and have the house singing a song. Ain't nobody telling you not to be in appearance. What we are telling you is balls to the wall is not every time you go out there. I don't have that mentality. I'm not a wrestler. I never wrestled. I never took a bump. All I am saying is, if football and wrestling are the same thing where you can't go half speed because you're going to get hurt, then goddammit, coach, pull me. Sit me on the bush. Get me out of play. I'm not good, bro. Andy Reid did a press conference. It was like, oh boy, played a game with a torn pec and motherfucking had a. I'm like, dude, he hurt the team. Like, he's hurting the team if you're out there playing hurt, because nobody wants to hear the excuses.
But that's one thing. And I don't think he should fight. He should wrestle hurt. Like, I don't think Seth should, but he got hurt wrestling. Like, that's his job.
He was wrestling hurt. His knee has been an issue. His knee and his back has been an issue from the Shinsuke storyline.
He's been going. I'm not sure how much of that was a work or not, but I think it's some truth to that. But I think that was also.
He's banged. He's banged. We know he's banged up, right? We do know that he is pushing himself to a limit that, again, we don't know the feeling of, but a person that have a streak of wrestling every Premier Live event, defending his championship on random Raws against Sammy and Shinsuke and Drew and fucking Jinder, he's pushing himself again, and he ain't make it to the top of the year where shit matters. Rumble, Australia, Mania. You're going home stretch, brother.
I can't get mad at the guy for doing his job, though. Like, that's where I'm at. And also, I can't get mad at him for pushing himself and being injured. It happens. Accidents happen, and I'm not saying go wrestle hurt. Like, I definitely don't want to do that. And maybe I guess you're saying is that him wrestling banged up is what causes more injury. And maybe you're right to that. Maybe you have a point to that. I personally can't tell somebody to say, hey, I know you're banged up, go sit down. And, we're going to, and if we're booking him as a working champion, that's the way the story is written. Let's keep going with it. And I mean, you can't predict that somebody's going to get hurt on any given night. You really can't. And I think it's hard for us to say, oh man, you don't have to do this and don't do that, when this is literally how he wrestles. This is his job. And the guy, more than anything, I just hope that he heals up fast and he's healthy. I can't, like, in the hindsight, like, oh damn, shame on you, Seth, that you got hurt because you wrestling.
We can't do hindsight and not do future sight, nigga. If you rush back, what is more often time not gonna happen when you rush back from injury? Bro?
I don't want him to rush back either.
I mean,
we got WrestleMania coming up.
That's rushing back because if
time out. If you look up online how long it takes to fully heal from an MCL tear, it's 8 weeks.
Hold on, we're not just talking about fully healed. We talking about fully healed doing tope super seasons, jumping from top ropes, and we ain't talking about normal nigga shit. We ain't talking about normal walking to the mailbox, walking our dogs, going to take a piss. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about normal nigga shit. We talking about extraterrestrial nigga shit, bro.
That's on the high end, by the way. I'm just making sure you know that's the high end because there's a gap, but the highest end of healing up is 8 weeks. You know, so I don't know how this is gonna work. And if you're saying that Seth Rollins shouldn't be at WrestleMania, then just say it. You know, Seth Rollins should just sit down.
What I am saying is this. This is my point. Feud with Shinsuke and the title that he's holding, he's building a legacy and a heritage of what that title, because we've already talked about universal titles, and we already talked about titles that undisputed title from 2002 when Jericho lost 2 belts to Randy Orton and John Cena there too. We've already talked about consolation prize titles and how it takes time, equity, and for us to care about it for it to mean something. I hear that. Seth did his due diligence with the tournament. Me and you was like, why ain't having the tournament? We was fighting it. We fighting it the whole time to like it. We finally like it. We finally get something unprecedented as well, too. We have 5 baby faces. They just did it in Survivor Series for them to band together and have a match. That's unprecedented. Then you bring CM Punk on top. So now we talked about egos. We talked about preserving talent. We talk about preserving the moment. We talk about striking while the iron hot. All of these things are scaled, right? When Punk and Seth Rollins see each other, and we talking for a month straight about I hate you and I'm going to WrestleMania and I'm nigga, you put everybody on ice. You feel me? You put everybody on ice, bro. You know what I mean? That's for me. Like, and Triple H too. We talking about business, a lot of creative, best booker in the world, whatever the case may be. Okay, we know. Like you say, this is Triple H talking. Seth is my boy, my baby, my son, right? I think that carried him to his WrestleMania match when he came back from his knee injury. I'm the one who gave him that match. I'm the one who did that. I'm the one who's building him back up, named him the future, the architect. You got to protect your asset. So Seth Rollins on camera can want to be a fighting champion, can preserve that mantra, that moniker, and everything like that, and want to fight, want to scrap, have challengers. Adam Pearce as the authority say no. No. Make Adam Pearce the bad guy on camera. Make us question the authority figure rather than question the wrestler. Because peep this. Let me hear this. Peep this. Just and I'll tie my sports analogy just with this. San Francisco 49ers last year felt like they lost one. Why? Because they didn't have not an ample fucking throwing arm to get them to the NFC champ, past the NFC champion. They would have took you or I rather than Josh Johnson. And Josh Johnson played in the league clearly, but he could not get them through. They say, Brock, get us through. Trent Williams, get us through. Debo, get us through. You seen when Debo went down with San Francisco in the playoffs. I'll take you fucking getting hurt in the playoffs. Nigga, you're not about to get hurt week 17, 18. We got the shit in the bag and we got a bye week and shit like that coming up. That's all I'm saying with Seth Rollins is these Raws, this leading up to the Rumble and everything like that, these is fucking week 17, week 18. You got to buy, my nigga. You have to get healthy in the divisional round, which is fucking Royal Rumble. You have to be healthy going into the NFC Championship game, which is fucking Elimination Chamber. Then you have to make it to the fucking Super Bowl as healthy as possible, which is WrestleMania. Guess what they're risking this
and this is what I gotta.
That's his quarterback. They need
like
that.
This is Monday morning quarterbacking in itself because, in hindsight, he shouldn't wrestle this much and all this stuff. But in all reality, like he's gonna wrestle. Like there's no way he was going to not wrestle from now until WrestleMania. And at any moment, this injury could have happened. At any moment, this injury could have happened.
Why would we not think that? We do have the big dog of dogs who say, nigga, I come when I come. I ain't telling Seth not to do that. I'm not telling Seth not to do that. All I am saying is that we have precedence within the company with the top champion, the top dog. The storyline that gave us 2 main events on 2 WrestleMania nights from different parts of the storyline. That nigga don't show up every time. He don't show up to every SmackDown. He don't show up to every show.
You can't compare the two. We all know that it's different. And we like I said, Roman Reigns has a different contract than Seth Rollins has. After he had the leukemia thing and he came back, he changed he did wrestle that year, and then he came on, and said, listen, things are going to change. I'm not going to wrestle as much. I guess he wants to be home for the family a lot. They're treating Roman Reigns as an attraction, and it works, whereas Seth Rollins is a stable week to week main eventer who holds the fort down. And I don't think Seth would have it any other way. I think that's what he takes pride in, is that he is the workhorse that he is, and that's what makes people say, okay, who's the best wrestler in the world? Is it Seth Rollins, Will Ospreay, Cody Rhodes? These guys wrestle mad times throughout the year. Roman Reigns is not in the conversation because he doesn't wrestle enough to be considered the best wrestler in the world. Maybe he's the best, attraction or, superstar or whatever it may be, but it's one of these guys who wrestle. I think that's the honor he takes out of his profession. And I'm just saying this injury could have happened, him walking down to the ring next week. It genuinely can happen in another match or Elimination Chamber, which is an even crazier match, if he was defending the championship in that. I'm not sure what they had plans for him, but in Australia, if Roman is not working it, Seth Rollins will probably be working at and defending the world championship in some facet.
Do you not understand that what my point is, that it matters if the world heavyweight champion is in Elimination Chamber and he get hurt? Okay, he's he's fucking wrestling Jinder Mahal from Aldashir or whatever the fuck the name of his group is, off of when he's trying to build legitimacy in what it is that he's defending. Is there any fucking legitimacy that you're fighting when you fucking hurt yourself fighting Jinder Mahal, bro? There's no legitimacy behind it.
I think it adds to the prestige. I do. I think that it's not the competitor. It's the guy it's that he's willing to compete. It's not because he fought Sammy, he's fought Drew, he's fought Shinsuke. He's defended this championship multiple times. And it's because it's a new championship that why you have to have so many world championship matches, So yeah, did I expect Jinder Mahal to be the match? Absolutely not. But I'm telling you right now, if he got injured in a match with Finn Balor for the championship on an offshoot, that you would not be complaining like this. I don't think a lot of people would be complaining.
And I think that's because, yes, Chidi, thank you. Because guess what, brother? They have a story. You dig? You can't. Oh my God! You can't.
I get it. No, listen, I get what you're saying, but an injury is an injury is an injury. Whether he got injured with Finn Balor or Jinder, that's my point.
No, you can't say it. You can't say an injury is an injury is an injury. No, it's not, bro. Because what I'm trying to tell you is, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. If Seth Rollins got hurt day one wrestling Drew McIntyre for the championship, and he got hurt and he had to relinquish the title, I will be on your side. I will be on your side.
All right.
Hello, I'm hindering the gender, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm only saying this because Seth can grant that championship match, and it builds championship equity for the champion, but it don't do nothing for him if he's not the champion. If he has to relinquish the title,
Well, let's talk about it because that's a good question. Is he going to then come on Raw tonight and relinquish it? Do you think that's what's going to happen? I don't know because I posed something to you yesterday. I posed two scenarios to you yesterday. One was he has to drop it. He never lost it, and somebody wins it in Elimination Chamber. And I was saying CM Punk wins in Elimination Chamber, and then he's upset that the man who he hates is now holding the championship that he never lost. That's option one. Option two is Seth comes out there and Damian Priest uses his opportunity to finally cash in successfully and win the championship. I think either way, I think Seth does have to drop it by WrestleMania, unfortunately.
Yes.
Do you think he drops it tonight?
I as we spoke about it and I got hyped. Yes. I think he can. I think Damian, Rhea, Finn, and Dominic or Tom and Nick, I think they would look amazing going into Australia as the most dominant faction in WWE. I think that will be awesome. And it buys time for Seth to legitimately go and rest. You don't have to have the pressure of coming back too soon. You don't have the pressure to get.
You don't have to be like, doing all this work on crutches and packages backstage. You don't got to do all that. Just go heal up.
Go heal up. Drop the title. The title has been, again, gained prestige enough without the gender match that I think that Drew, Damian, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, all legit viable options for the title.
I love it. I love that. And that's the thing about right now with wrestling, especially Raw. There's so many people that could genuinely take that spot, and I think it works. And we have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre tonight. So if they start the show with Seth and Damian cashes in, maybe Drew McIntyre can finagle that to be a championship match. And then obviously Judgment Day does their thing, and keeps the title on Priest, going into Royal Rumble. I'm curious to see how they write this because it's unfortunate. And sending healing energy to Seth Rollins. May you heal up quickly. And, thank you for your sacrifice more than anything. I came here last week and said the same thing to Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes that, it's a risk every time you go out there. So thank you all to all the competitors, but especially when somebody gets injured doing the thing that to entertain us, I got to highlight that because these are human beings who are actually going there, they're doing their job and hurting their actual bodies for our entertainment. How this, the dominoes fall from this is going to be very interesting. And it just makes this road to WrestleMania even more chaotic, which could be entertaining or it could be not what we wanted. Because I wanted the CM Punk Seth thing to kick off hot, right after Royal Rumble. It looks like we're not going to get that. We're not going to get
that. Next on the list, we talked about those athletes that will be on the cover of 2K24. If you're a wrestling podcast listener, I'm pretty sure you've already. If you're a wrestling fan, yeah, But if you're, if you're coming here and you're seeing it, we got Cody Rhodes here. He'll be on standard edition, and then we have Bianca and Rhea to be on the deluxe edition, and
I know what edition
a video. Yeah, brother. Send the video. You know what I'm saying? Listen. Bianca and Rhea doing this together was awesome. You know what I'm saying? They were surprised. Cody, Bianca, and Rhea was all shipped out to LA. And they were just told that they were doing some DLC content for 2K23, and Triple H surprised them and said, "No, you guys are going to be cover artists." And Rhea just like Bianca to like that. That's what no other person to do that with.
I love that.
Bianca has spoken to existence with her and Montez. She said her brother had been playing the game since she was little, and like for her to bring that back. And Cody, we know what the list was when he came to WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine buying a video game and your sister is on the cover, and every time you go to play, your sister's popping up on the screen. Like, all right,
on the screen, bro. I know she was annoying when we was growing up, but damn, she is now, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Word up,
bro.
Man.
You get to see this motherfucker twirling and shit like this is so twit.
I'm getting the Cody version this time. Yo, you gotta represent for family, man. But
doubt if that nigga played with any other person on that game, other than his sister, brother. Like, what?
Nah, for sure. It's a big milestone because it's the first time two women are gracing the cover together, and like you said, Rhea and Bianca, I think they're the era right now of women wrestling. They are going to be remembered as the kind of like standard flag bearers, where I think the four horsewomen are not over what their careers are by any means, but they're not the
don't be Sir Wilkins now. Don't be Sir Wilkins.
I said not. I would never be that. Trust me, I am not doing that. That was tragic, bro.
Chandler said, "Say what now?"
He digged himself a grave. He just jumped in that bitch. Listen, I think that the four horsemen are fantastic, and I think they're incredible. But it's not their moment right now. They've had their moment, and they will probably have future moments as well. I think we talk about it with we want to see Mercedes Moné back. We want Bayley with the Royal Rumble. We want Becky and Rhea, and Charlotte. I hope you get healthy as well. She actually posted that she's already walking and shit. That's pretty cool. After surgery, she's trying to get healed up quick, man. That's crazy. Shout out to Charlotte. But right now, the flavor of the moment is Bianca and Rhea as the young upstarts who have been ascended to that level of stardom that they are legitimately the representatives of the WWE in the women's division right now.
And also this is why we talk about them having so many title belts and having so many different tiers of stars and everything like that. That nigga Triple H is like, y'all gonna split the duties. All right, y'all know what that means. Press tours, autographs, all that shit. Bro, that's what you want. That's how you make the money. That's how you that's how you step out above all the rest. And
and this is just way in the past. It's like I think Becky was the first woman, huh?
But Becky was the first woman. Becky was the first woman ever. The first black woman. And now Bianca and Rhea is the first women to have their own cover.
Yeah. Becky was on the cover with Roman at one time. I think it was 2020. But I think that this is paving the way for women to be like just taking over. I think women are right now going through a revolution in and outside of wrestling. Like if you look at hip hop right now, women are killing the game. Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, you got Sexy Red, Ice Spice, you got Scarlett. Yo, it's crazy. They all have slaps. Cardi B, it's crazy. And when we look at the men, there are men who have slapped, but when you go out and you listen and you just
that energy different when you hear the
energy is different, So so
energy different.
There's a moment for women right now that they're just as good, if not better, than men in a lot of industries. I think that they're paving the way for women to continually be included on these calls of like, all right, we're gonna put our company behind these women, and there's a space for them. Now we could see in the future Jade Cargill, be on a cover as well, and see where that goes. And
being in that cover, I'm trying to see her on a movie poster, Storm. I'm trying to see that motherfucker be a goddamn.
Everybody wants to see her as Storm.
I want to see her transcend wrestling, brother. That nigga's a Storm.
My thing is like this: Jade Cargill acting. Can she act, or is her acting just as good as her wrestling? Is she gonna be green on that too? Listen, I'm not knocking Jade. I love Dre, but I don't even know if she can act. We just love looking at her.
Nigga, what Storm do in the sky? Nigga, that's all you gotta do, brother. You ain't gotta do nothing else. Dude, what are you talking about?
Listen, man, if you're gonna be Storm, You gotta bring it, man. And Storm is from Africa, so she's supposed to have an accent. You know, I can't have Jay just botching an African accent.
Hold on. Halle Berry ain't had no accent, and she looked damn good and did a
She
damn
looked
good
good,
Storm,
but she was
you know?
bad. I'm sorry, she didn't do a great job of Storm. I don't think she was Storm to me.
I'm about to remove you from the feed.
Hey,
That's a 30-second penalty. A 30-second penalty. What is wrong with this nigga here? What is wrong with him? Nigga, this smirks the beautiful, vibrant, fluorescent name of Halle Berry for what? Because you a comic book reader? Bring your ass back to the stage. What is wrong with you, man? What is wrong with this man? Man, they say you can't pick your family. Clearly, I picked this nigga. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this nigga here, man. Anyway. No, I don't know if Jay can act. I don't know if Jay can act. Are you back? All right.
listen,
I don't know if Jay can act. I don't know.
controls on this side, man. I usually have controls on this side. I can do things, but now I don't. But nah, Halle Berry, not my favorite Storm. I mean, she was my cup of tea. I think she's beautiful, but Storm, I don't think she's Storm.
We came back with the take. Man,
exactly. I came back with it. I stand on business with my takes. Listen, Jade, honestly, I see her being a feature cover artist too. Like, I think that, there's so many people that are coming up the ranks with WWE that have potential. It all depends on how we gravitate towards them. And I think that, like you say, they're just standard, extremely professional representatives for the company. Rhea, Bianca, and of course Cody Rhodes as well. They're huge stars. It's their moment. If you guys haven't watched for the past couple of years, they are the ones people want to see get a chance, the most.
Which goes back to your question about why Seth do what he does. Bro, if you are the company man that you say you are and the flag bearer that you have been against Will Ospreay online and everything like that, you don't have to defend the company from Cody Rhodes, bro. You know the company's in good hands. He's not gonna fucking steer the ship off the cliff and fucking have a co-opted plot to take over with AEW, everything like that, bro. You can motherfucking hand the keys over. You can get in the passenger side of the car and take a nap, bro. You can do that. You can do
Seth
that.
Still has to. Here's the thing with Seth, and I love it. I love the chip on his shoulder. He still doesn't feel like he's gotten his just due the way he wants, and I like that he always strives for more. I like that when Cody makes a new company and comes back and then gets a WrestleMania main event right off the bat, and he's wrestling Logan Paul, that he has a problem with that. Because guess what? I would too. But that's the competition.
His first WrestleMania was against Seth, though. His first WrestleMania was against
your first one was against Seth, yeah. But then the next one, and you were out with a pectoral, and they come back and win the Royal Rumble right away. He said he's very uncomfortable with how things played out. And to be quite honest, I could see that, because now it's like, okay, you guys are showing all this love to this guy who's not been here just because he made a whole new company, came back, and now rebranded himself as American Nightmare. And then I think over the past year, I think Seth has to respect Cody on some level of him and his commitment to the art form. At least it's not like, we just hot shotted him to defeat Roman after going and creating our competition and smashing the throne and all this shit. Yeah, Seth takes it personally.
What Seth think was going to happen at Philly? Like, honestly, what does Seth think that was going to happen in Philly? You think Punk was taking the fall?
Punk?
You think Punk was going exactly all the shit that you said about Cody? Oh, he can't come in.
Yeah, Punk is taking the fall. Hell yeah, Punk is taking the fall. If here's the thing, I don't know now because of the Seth injury, but if Seth didn't get injured, Seth versus Punk at WrestleMania, Punk taking the fall and Seth is leaving their champion. That's what I think should have happened. I don't think it's able to be happen. I don't think it's going to happen now. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Wow, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second with that.
No, let's keep it real. You don't just have to walk back in WWE, claim I want WrestleMania to make an event, and then also take the championship and win. Listen, That's what AEW did. They gave the title to Punk because they needed to put the title on a big star, and they put it on Punk. WWE just having Punk around is good enough. They don't got to put the title on him right away. If anything, I will wait till like SummerSlam to see if Punk can get a championship run. I don't think he needs it right now. WrestleMania, Punk is just, you got to understand, Punk is he's an older act now. He's becoming one of those acts like an Edge when he came back. He's not that old, but he's coming when Edge came back from injuries, and he's not the guy you're saying you're building the company around anymore. So yeah, can Punk have a reign? Absolutely. But what's better than that is to build Seth up as a great competitor as he is, and have him defeat CM Punk. So that's what I would have booked. I would have had the intrigue of the fans saying, who's going to win this match? Got to be Seth. It got to be Punk. And Seth walking in and walking out WrestleMania champion would be a huge notch on his belt, especially beating his, one of his, I guess, I wouldn't say mentors or idols, but like the guy who kind of paved the path with him, like, going through ROH and everything like that. A guy who's very akin to himself and how he grew up in this industry. And defeating him at WrestleMania, which would be honestly a WrestleMania dream match, would be great for a notch on Seth's WrestleMania and his career. I don't think CM Punk needs that victory. I think CM Punk just wrestling in the main event of WrestleMania is that enough. And I think that hopefully CM Punk can understand that. But yeah, right now, as it stands, it's going to be very interesting to see how things play out with the injury. But we shall see. I hope to God that Seth makes it at all. Like, I hope that we get to see him. And I know Chris is like, let him heal up. I hope that he makes it by WrestleMania, because for his own sake, I know that he wants to be there, But anything you guys say before I move on?
I will say one time down before we move on, just to kind of clear my point. I don't know if Punk just came back for like you say, we don't know each other's contract. We don't know contracts and shit like that, whoop-de-whoop and everything like that. We don't know. It's purely speculation. I don't know if Punk came back not to fucking main event. And I don't know if he came back not to fucking be champion. Because we do talk about interim championships and interim champions and how it fucked up the lineage of the AEW world title. When Punk went down and he was supposed to carry on the fucking flagship and be the catalyst and everything like that, his injury fucked up the legitimacy and the storytelling of that title. And Mox and everybody else felt the ripple effect. And that's why I feel like I think Punk has to redeem himself as champion. That's why
I can't co-sign that, because you're bringing in some AEW stuff. I think WWE doesn't think about that shit at all. I think they say,
I don't say WWE. I don't say WWE is. I'm saying Punk coming back being shit. I'm thinking Punk. That's a Punk and Turtle thing. Like,
Punk and Turtle thing, come back and be champion. I think he wants to WrestleMania. I think he wants to be the last match of the night. I think that's what it is, and I think that he even can understand it because he's changed and he's a better man now. He's grown up. He could even understand that me wrestling in the main event at WrestleMania is enough, and where I'm at in my career doesn't do much for the business to take a victory from one of the hottest stars and take their championship, unless they were building a storyline that's going to go to Backlash and move forward on, and then, keep Punk relevant that way, and then give the title back to Seth. I think it harms Seth to have this title run and then lose it to Punk at WrestleMania. I do. I don't think that does him any justice.
It didn't harm Moxley, though.
It's not
Moxley
the same,
did the same. What? Why? Why is not? I just compare Moxley and Seth to be the same.
Here's why. AEW putting the title on CM Punk coming back after 9 years away. You have to capitalize as a business with AEW by putting the title on him. WWE does not need Punk to be champion, and that's the difference to me. They do not need Punk to be champion. They can use him as a star in his own right, and eventually make him champion. Sure, I don't think that they don't have to keep it from him or nothing like that. But I don't think that they can. I think they can go either way. They can definitely put the title on him at WrestleMania, but it's not like we need to put him on it. AEW needed to put it on Punk so the Punk can make somebody else. And unfortunately, whatever happened. But
I want to ask you this part because we've had this conversation before. I don't necessarily believe Punk had to be champion. I think him being an active wrestler on AEW did a lot.
I think he did a lot too. I do, but I think it does more with him as champion.
Okay, so with Madison Square Garden having the biggest gate that they've ever had under the umbrella of WWE, that's not because CM Punk. That's not capitalizing on business. Is that not WWE realizing that they can market him as well?
You're talking my language. That's exactly what I'm saying. WWE doesn't need him as champion.
Why? Well, what do you mean? Why don't they not need him as champion when he just did the biggest gate they've ever done at Madison Square Garden?
Without a championship.
Okay. AEW never got the height of TV numbers that they got when CM Punk debuted, right? We're talking just holistically. So with Madison Square Garden TV, it's the same thing in my eyes. AEW could just have had Punk on TV continuously and not put a championship on him and done great house TV numbers and didn't have to put a title on it.
And maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. And I don't know. But I think that AEW making champion was a smart business decision on their end. I think WWE can also go with that business decision. It's definitely an option. I'm not saying it's like a bad thing. But I think that Seth Rollins beating Punk is a bigger moment for Seth. And at his point in his career and at CM Punk's point in his career, I think CM Punk should be able to understand that this guy deserves, after losing Logan Paul. He beat Logan Paul, losing to Cody did a job to Cody the year before. Give Seth another moment, yo. I mean, Logan Paul is Logan Paul. Like, give him a bona fide victory. Like, since he's lost Randy Orton in WrestleMania, like he's beaten Triple H. It's been a while though, So give him that match.
Okay, I see. What else we got on the docket?
On the docket, I just really quick want to rehash my my Okada take because I didn't get it off. Obviously, because yesterday we didn't record. But we recorded, but we talked. Okada is a free agent in New Japan. He just left New Japan. He's official free agent. And everybody's speculating where he's gonna go. And you know me. I want to see my guy in the WWE. Chris is like, nah, he's going to AEW. But I think what will be a great dream matchup for WrestleMania and have this guy still show a second time in a row at WrestleMania is to have Gunther defend his Intercontinental Championship against Okada. I mean, I know there's a Shinsuke thing too, where we can have Shinsuke versus Okada, which will be spectacular in its own right. But I think that the possibility of Gunther losing his championship to Okada and Okada being the new Intercontinental Champion, I think that's just exciting to me, man. And I think that that's me, obviously fantasy booking and everything, but I think that we were talking about the stardom effect of becoming a star nationally, worldwide, not nationally, I mean, worldwide, because Okada's a star in Japan. And if you're a wrestling fan, you're a star, Okada. If you're a deep wrestling fan, mind you, not like a fringe. If you're like deep into wrestling, Okada. But majority of people don't know Okada. They don't. And I think that him coming to WWE gives him a new platform to have new eyes on him and wrestle a different style and just be more well-rounded. And I think that with the way that Triple H is in charge and how he handles Japanese talent, I think there's a lot of freaking potential with Okada coming here and becoming the biggest Japanese star we've ever seen in the WWE. So that's my take on it. I know there's AEW, but AEW got Will Ospreay, they got Kota Ibushi, and we'll see how they use it with Ospreay. But Kota Ibushi, they had him on a bicycle and hitting people with a lead pipe, and that's the last time I seen him. So like Are they going to be showcasing Okada the best way? I don't know. I have apprehension about that.
Coda hurt.
Oh, he's hurt?
Was hurt, and his. I mean, you know, him and Kenny in sync, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh gosh, you always got to bring Kenny up.
I love the Golden Lovers, brother. What I'm trying to say is, listen, I ain't finna hold you. Let's be real. And this is a quick diversion. When Kenny Omega was in the best shape of his life, best wrestler in the world, who probably kept him in shape, wrestling in the ring, getting Okada? I mean, Kota Ibushi. And who at the moment, during that time when Kenny was the best, probably could take the best wrestler title away from him? Kota Ibushi. When, as I'm saying, Kenny hasn't diminished. But we said Kenny is getting old, right? Same as Kota Ibushi.
He's beat up.
Yes. Yeah. Kota's not diminished. He's getting old. He's getting, bro. That she goes. You know what I'm saying? Together. You know, together. You know, it goes together. You know.
Okay.
But to your point, to your Okada point, and I don't know if you home or not, and I apologize.
No, go ahead.
If didn't let you land, but Okada going to WWE, we talked about it, and he was like, Okada deserves to have that ability to be a big star, right? That Okada deserves the ability to have a WrestleMania entrance, right? And I do not disagree. I think that would be amazing. I think it would be awesome to see that. But what I am saying to you is that, listen, we had the argument as well yesterday. Yes, Triple H is in charge and is the head of creative and everything like that. But we just talked about Okada's not coming in taking a main spot, right? He's not taking a main spot. He is taking the second prestigious spot on the card. It's not a lot of guys available to make like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think realistically, that kind of entices me a little bit to want to see that. But at the same time, I know that when they did Forbidden Door and he came to AEW and everything like that, you feel like there's a plateau there, which I can understand.
Absolutely.
I can understand there's a plateau there, right? I won't be naive to say that. But how difficult will it be for us to make Okada in WWE? I don't think it's hard, right? WWE was able to get a lot of other footage that wasn't New Japan to show Prince Devitt and to show Asuka and to show Shinsuke Nakamura. But what other footage do we have of Okada that we can't reach out to New Japan and grab? New Japan has a working relationship with AEW. I'm not trying to say that politics don't mean shit, but politics is as usual, like Jay-Z said in 96, my man. I don't know, like you say, a fringe wrestling fan. We talk about 50, 60,000 people coming to WrestleMania. Ain't the that got fucking podcast, bro. You feel me? We talk about fringe WrestleMania fans. And when that fucking coin drop, you will have about 20,000 people that's going to pop 25. Let's say half, 30. We'll say 30 out of, but the other 30,000 niggas going to be like, who is this other nigga here? You know what I'm saying? And
they're gonna find out, man. They're gonna find out, just like they found out who Gunther was when he showed up. No one knew Walter. You know, but it takes time. I'm not gonna say it doesn't take time, but the way I would book him is I would treat him like a star immediately, and then have the fans catch up, because you can do it either way. You can just have, okay, we're gonna treat him like a regular person and have him build to being a star, and then the fans tell you they're a star, or you can build them like a star and have the fans catch up. That's how I would do with Okada. I would have the fans catch up.
Absolutely. And I absolutely agree with you on that. I absolutely agree with you on that, because I do believe that he's automatic. He's AJ Styles, right? AJ Styles didn't need no motherfucking get up. You feel me? Like AJ Styles came in number 3 in the Rumble with World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns at the time, and then proceeded to be a star by having 2 main event matches with the nigga for the championship right after. Like, yeah, so man. it can be done, right? And a lot of niggas
I'm
did
glad
not
you
watch
brought me here
DNA.
because
You
like the Royal Rumble, yeah, the Royal Rumble is a perfect space to debut people. And we all are suspecting, there to be some debuts or returns in the women's division, with Trinity possibly showing up back in WWE in the Royal Rumble. We have Jay Cargill finally debuting possibly in the Royal Rumble. But on the men's side of things, there's not much speculation on who could possibly show up randomly. And obviously, we don't know if Okada's signed, but if he did show up, that would be fucking crazy. I don't think that's going to happen. That's just me just speculating. But do you have any other potential Royal Rumble surprises on the men's side of things? That because I don't think I don't think there is one. I don't think I can't.
I don't think
Let's
it's necessary. Honestly, I don't necessarily think it's necessary. Realistically, I think if we are legitimizing what we're legitimizing, right?
Yeah.
Well, like everybody wants a fucking championship. Everybody wants the title. Everybody has this nigga Drew McIntyre like, I ain't see my grandma die because of this shit.
I know.
And I'm like, oh shit, he gotta beat the fuck out of himself now, because I know if I ain't see my grandma, I'll kill a nigga,
man.
you know?
Yo, I've been loving the Drew McIntyre promos, man. Drew McIntyre every week is killing it. Like he has real character development every freaking week. I love it, and it genuinely feels like he's a potential winner.
For real life, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't know if it's just like, nah, nigga. During the pandemic, I couldn't go home because I was wrestling in front of y'all niggas in front of a screen, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, in front of y'all niggas in front of the screen.
Out, nigga,
in front of y'all niggas, not in front of y'all niggas.
Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, no.
Yeah, man. Drew has a
you know what I'm saying? So
he has a valid case. I love when you see that with the the blending of reality and fiction, and when you can bring that to your character, it adds substance, man. So I think Drew deserves something, man. I don't know what, but he deserves something for the work he's been doing lately. Tonight we're gonna see Drew versus Damian Priest, but also Royal Rumble time. Obviously, we got CM Punk, we got Cody Rhodes. They two are gonna have a one-on-one meetup in the ring tonight on Raw. So that's interesting to see how that plays out. But I love the drama of it all week. You said it doesn't necessarily need a surprise. You're right. It don't, because there's so many good potential stories in the Royal Rumble already that you can just feed off of that. Got Judgment Day. We got all types of stuff going on with Jey Uso and Jimmy, and Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre. I'm not sure if Sami Zayn will return. I don't know, but there's a lot of potential things that have been set up for this pay-per-view that I'm curious to see how this whole Rumble plays out. We talked about it yesterday, but we'll say it again. My prediction is for Cody to go back-to-back and then have Bayley win the woman.
Yeah, I think I said that Bayley take first, but not yesterday. I wasn't convicted on it, and I'm still not. So I'm gonna roll what I said yesterday. You convinced me, and say that Becky and Rhea promo led to Has Becky won the Rumble before?
Yes, she has.
Damn, her being a 2-time winner is gonna be crazy. I do need Bayley. Bayley won everything but that, though.
Yeah,
like
I
Bayley legit.
She's yet to have a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. She said.
But she's also yet to legit get credit for being the first ever you know what I'm saying?
Like Slam women's champion, yeah. Bayley is underrated, man. Even she's great and people know she's great, she's still underrated. Bayley is awesome.
But Asuka took that from her though. Asuka's won Money in the Bank. Asuka's won the Royal Rumble. Sure. Asuka's won NXT, SmackDown, Raw, and Tag. Right, so it's time for Bayley to get her just due. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of niggas don't like their spot being taken. So I think, damn, I just talked myself into Bayley. That's crazy.
I mean, that's what's good about it. That's what's exciting about it, is that generally going to the Royal Rumble, there's a CM Punk, Cody, there's Drew, there's Bayley, there's Becky Lynch, there's still Bianca, there's Jay Cargill might show up. There's all this intrigue and curiosity where it's not a foregone conclusion that anybody's gonna win. I'm down for it. I think it could be one of the best Royal Rumbles we've seen in recent times, which they're getting better and better every year. So we'll see.
which is crazy that you say that. This show was better than yesterday's show. Kind of.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. What else we want to get into? We want to talk about the potential return of Patrick Clark, or let's not talk about return.
We'll say this before we get out of here because I know you got work, I got a family, So what I'll say this, then I'll pass it to you, and we can do what we do after this. 3 years is a long time, and 3 years is a long time. In this day and age, we do know that things can be made up and everything like that. And he was nonchalant in the trailer as far as saying, I thought common sense will prevail, but common sense is not so common. Common sense is, I defend this with every fiber and fervor of my being to clear me up, and then I don't then self-sabotage myself by and again, everybody cope how they cope. I know I turn a bottle. I know I smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Feel me? I know I do a lot of stuff like that. I punch holes in walls and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I ever had access to Triple H and Shawn Michaels' number in my phone, and I am their prized possession, and I'm going through some tough times, I squander that, man. I'm sorry. So I can't wait to kind of hear what it is that he has to say. I don't think that he'll ever be able to come back as Velveteen Dream. I would need to see him as Patrick Clark if he ever comes back. I would need to be able to kind of see through a facade. I would need to see through, I'm just trying to get back into wrestling, for me to ever kind of really, really be on board with what it is that he's trying. Now, if he's just saying, hey, public viewing, it took me some while. I didn't know how to come in front of public. I dealt with this at a young age, whoop-de-whoop, all that. I get that, bro. I get that. But you put a lot of smut on names and put a lot of people in positions that you ain't need to if you just could have just did what you doing now 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Not 3 years. So I'll pass it to you. My
bad. People grow at different times, and I want to have grace for everybody. He mentioned in the show, it comes out tomorrow. Chris Van Vliet has an interview with Patrick Clark, so tune in for that. I think Chris Van Vliet has been doing amazing work, especially since he got his new studio. The dude's been killing it on the interviews. So I'm definitely going to tune in, and I'll give more of my takes later on this week, possibly. But I'll just say right now, everybody deserves a second chance. In my eyes, especially if you are not held guilty in a court of law. I know right now it's like we're living in an era where the court of public opinion is more important than anything else, and I think it's dangerous. I think that's dangerous because there are people that will be essentially given a scarlet letter based off of a rumor, and maybe there's some truth in the rumor. Maybe when there's smoke, there's fire. We don't know, but at some point you gotta just take you got to give people the opportunity to say their piece. And I think that he obviously deserves a chance to say his piece, and we'll see what goes on from there. Go ahead.
I agree with you on that, but I would say this. Public opinion and money moves everything, unfortunately. So Dana White, right? And this is business logic. We don't have to go too deep, but this is just my piece, right? Dana White is in the board, right? He's on the board of TKO, or he sold the TKO. Which is it like?
He sold the TKO, but I think he has some kind of stake in UFC.
Okay, so we talk about Endeavor, a publicly traded company, Endeavor, TKO, and the COO got caught slapping his wife in the joint.
And that really happened. We saw it.
We saw that.
It's not public opinion.
That ain't public. That happened, right? We also see fighters within the UFC, a sport, go on a press conference and say things about the gay and trans community and go on a rant about everything. That's their champion. their champion. And I think the only thing that would have came across of disciplinary actions is if Bud Light took away the fucking sponsor money. That's what we're talking about, public opinion, right? Dana White, Vince McMahon, these big like position of power people, right? Or people who, again, Patrick Clark, who probably thought that he was in some sort of power position. You don't feel like you have to answer for your actions at some point in time. That accountability does not slip past people who want it, not growth at different times. You have to answer for that. And you do. You have to answer for that. Right?
Yeah.
I have stake in TKO because my fucking stock options transfer over. My money has to be where my mouth is. Data has not answered for that.
And you're on a business tip. I think you're 100% right. On the business tip, I think you're 100% right, and that's just unfortunately the way the world works right now. But on and this is not even about wrestling, bro. On a spiritual aspect, let people get a chance to grow, and that's what I'm trying to come from. You know, like let people say their piece, and then you take what you want from that. And I think that people should definitely tune in and hear what the man has to say. If he wants to be apologetic about it, if he's arrogant about it, if he's not, if he's still trying to get into wrestling, if he's not, hey, it is what it is. I thought he did a great job as a professional wrestler. I don't know if he'll be back in WWE with everything that's happened. I think they gave him a long leash, though. I think they didn't fire him immediately once the stuff started coming out.
He came back and wrestled Adam Cole when you had a second chance. I didn't want to enter.
They kept him. They didn't fire him. They fired other people and didn't fire him because they saw talent in him. He's extremely talented. But where he's at right now, what I would recommend the guy is just go wrestle, man. It doesn't have to be WWE. Wrestle. Find yourself outside of this hole and get far away from this drama. And this should be. This should be one of the last few times he actually addresses this stuff. And go live his life.
I know you say public opinion, right? And I'm one to say don't. But if you are sorry for the shit that went through and that you put your mom through, that you put your dad through, that you put your brother through, you put your sister, your friends through, Tahuti, you talk about all the time, that you put Trips and Sean through, because if you did not do it, it was arrogant in the moment. It was like, nigga, you don't believe me? No, you see them hashtag me too, nigga. No, we don't believe a motherfucking person, brother. You need to tell us what happened, what went down, what is going on.
I don't know what went down, but that's why it's gonna be interesting to hear from him, because if he doesn't tell us what actually happened, then you're just left to the theater of your own mind to figure it out, and that's where it's dangerous. You know, that's where it gets dangerous. If I'm telling you right now. If some Me Too shit came out about me, I'm stomping that shit out before the flames start burning, because it's not true. It's not true, because I've never done it. I've never done anything like that. That's just how I am. I'm telling you, and it might be aggressive. This bitch is lying. I've never met her in my life. Like, that's how I talk. Like, that's unfortunately, that's how. I mean, I'm not saying it's the right way to go about it, but that's how I would.
Even if, and this is God out of truth too. God out of truth. If he think that we would, if he got outed, right? Oh, this plays into the part again. Personal shit. I know if character was so on the borderline of what we thought it was, that it was his real life, and didn't nobody know about that, and he got outed because of some, that kid be like, I ain't gay and I ain't never touched no boys. Nah, you can be like, I'm gay, but I ain't never fuck with no love. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have a full
at the end of the day, you don't gotta reveal anything.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you have to be listen. What the things were? I think I did. I think they're abhorrent. I think they're disgusting. I think they're. I would never do something like that. And I think I was. I know that I was framed in a light that I can't probably go back with for some of the people, but I can guarantee you that I never did anything like that. If you genuinely did it,
got framed, you know, and that nigga started doing drugs and shit like that. That's some movie shit, honestly. If the nigga got framed and then just started playing with his nose and doing shit like that, and it just like started like and started going down a downward path because again, movie scripts say, "Oh man, you don't believe me," and you'll see the character.
The judge probably came before the framing, probably, but I'm just gonna say,
I'm trying to tell you that honestly, bro. Nigga wanted him out the paint early. You know what I'm saying?
But he should be talented. I wish the best for the guy. We shall watch what transpires on Chris Van Vliet tomorrow in the interview. It was a great little teaser of it, so we shall see. I think he has. I think he still has a fan base out there, but I think that fan base should not. I think he needs to just not get too over his head with things and just get back to just if you the craft you love. If you want to be great at your job, find some indie wrestling spots and go wrestle. Go to Japan, maybe, I don't know, but wrestle and just get.
Yes.
You know,
we can't be a shitty person though, and us invest in you as a good wrestler, right? Yeah. Chris Jericho is doing a lot of damage to his reputation right now by not, stepping out. You step out on a lot of shit, during Grace. Chris Benoit was a good person.
Yeah.
Did not rape that girl, or like you can do just say it's stuff you can do. It's stuff. I don't know where my wife was January 6th. I was on the road. Nigga, you can do a whole bunch of shit.
When you don't say anything, and nowadays it's almost like you're guilty. That's crazy, though. It's crazy. Bro. And I pray that, none of this happens to us, because I do feel like some people do genuinely get framed 100%. With all this AI stuff, with all this fake text, faking DMs, people have done that. A woman just faked a dude saying that he gave her HIV and was texting herself. It's crazy nowadays, and it's just sad because you can ruin somebody's life and really get away with it. You can really do that in today's day and age, and that's not a Patrick Clark thing. It's just the way we're at.
Honestly, Patrick Clark, that was the shit that we was wishing for. Like, we was praying you was framed, nigga. We was praying, nigga, that some nigga did some shit like that to you, bro. Honestly, like, we did not want to believe what it was, and honestly, these days the mindset has changed to be like, nah, nigga, you believe first. I'm sorry. Right. And I know me and Chidi come from a different perspective on that. And we don't, honestly, the framework of life has changed because so many people have kept it. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, well, why? You know what I'm saying?
With my sister about trust and trust with strangers. And do you trust 100% first and then let them show you they're untrustworthy over time? Or do you distrust everybody and then they have to prove their trust? And I think both sides of the spectrums are dangerous. I think what I do is there's a spectrum in the middle where you're at 50% when I meet you. And when I get news of somebody, let's say it's a fucking Diddy or it's a whoever, Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, whoever it is, I genuinely say, I don't know this person. At first base, I say, I don't know this person. Now there's some news. On the scale, it might adjust a little slightly, but I just can't just be like, oh, this came out 100%. They're guilty.
Go all the way down.
Yeah, all the way down. I don't trust anything they say, because I genuinely don't know any people. But at the same time, but for me, I genuinely don't care a lot of the times either, because I don't look at these people as they're monoliths and like they're supposed to be perfect. I don't. I think in my own mind, I know people have egos and do fucked up shit. I just know it, especially when you get more money, get more fame. It can be a drug in its own self, money and fame. So I don't put it past anybody to do some fuckery, to abuse people, to sexually assault. I don't put it past nobody. At the same time, if I'm not in the room, I can't just say this person is this person, cancel them 100%, at all. Look at the Jonathan Majors things. He even got convicted of misdemeanors, and I still feel like the guy was kind of like fucked up. What happened to him? I still think this
had the whole world in his hand, brother.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He was Kang, man, the conqueror, the one above all. So, and now he's nothing. I mean, really,
and that's William said, and got conquered by a white bitch.
But that's where we're at. It's unfortunate, but hey, you guys make your own judgments. We're not here to tell you what to think. But we're just always trying to see. I'm always trying to express grace to people, and until you know something for sure, understand that there can be. I watch a Dateline, shit is crazy. People do crazy shit sometimes, and to frame somebody or to make a scene. A woman texted as herself, as a third party, as somebody else to get somebody else to kill her husband. And she was texting that guy as different people to frame it as if as she was being abused and telling a complete lie. And then a nigga came and killed her husband. And it's just crazy things that people actually think of, especially with technology nowadays. Just so be careful. That's all I'm saying.
With that, all that evil shit, all is love, everything is wrestling. And we'll catch y'all on the flip side.
We'll catch y'all. All that evil shit. Wait, real quick. On the bright side of things, shout out to Montez and Bianca for their show coming out next month on Hulu. We'll definitely be tapping in with that. Looks like it's going to be very entertaining. And you guys honestly deserve everything you guys are getting, all the shine. So shout out to them. All is love. Yeah, all is love. So shout out to love.
Shout out to our new nigga American our new North American champion. You know what I'm saying?
Oba.
Come on.
Yeah, come man. On, dude, man. I do, man. He's gonna be a star. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That dude gonna be a star. I'm really proud of that kid, man. He's 22 years old, man. This guy looks like he's 30, dog.
He said he's 22.
But he's gonna be a star for a long time. It looks like, he definitely has potential to be a huge star down the line. I'm very excited to see his future. People have a little bit of problems with the North American Championship being very cultural. I don't know why, but people are like, oh, all the North American champions have been like Black or Spanish or whatever. I'm like, shut the fuck
up. Because all the world champions is white. Okay, so at least we gotta have a continent, bitch, nigga. Let me get the fuck out of here before I start another racial war around this hoe. Everything is he bringing back the evil shit. Everything is love. All is love.
All is love. Everything is wrestling. All love, people. We'll see y'all next weekend, and we will hit record. I promise. All right. Yeah. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, Jesus.